Welcome everybody to the Last Great Coliseum here at Bristol Motor Speedway, live on JCTV. I'm Josh Coppernell. I'm joined by Adam Kuhn. How you doing, Adam?
Evening, Josh. Doing well. Excited to be back up here in the booth with you after a couple weeks off. Looking forward to this race tonight.
It's definitely going to be exciting. We got two races, both 110 laps long. It's a doubleheader, and it's at Bristol. This first one's going to take place during the day. The second one's going to take place during the nighttime.
It's really unique to have double headers, of course, here on JCTV. Very brand new, I believe, Josh, and for at least stock car racing, of course. And we're looking forward to this a couple times in the season here down the road. But what better way to start off than Bristol? And like you mentioned, two different types of races, day to night. Gonna be a great show tonight.
Yeah, I agree with you for sure. I think we're going to see a great show. Bristol, an awesome short track overall. I absolutely love it. Right now, watching Jamil Hawkins turn some laps. He, for qualifying, just completed his second lap, and back to the top of the board goes Hawkins. Here is Nicholas Hapiak driving the U.S. Marine Corps Ford. Of course, it is Veterans Day, and we think everybody who has served is serving now, and we're definitely appreciative of every single person. Chase McGuire on his first lap. Gonna go P7 so far. And P5 ultimately for McGuire. Hunter Peach, though, he is currently top of the board. Jeff Lednam finishing his time. Donald Geit sitting P7, just turning some laps. Getting some last minute practice going. Andrew Chapman completing his first lap. Chapman gonna go still on his first lap. That was his warm-up lap. P4 for Andrew Chapman so far.
Just chilling in the water off of turn 2. Gonna invalidate this lap, of course, Josh, but in the race, that's not gonna slow you down any with these composite bodies. I think we're gonna see that a lot, the way these things are sliding around here in the daytime.
Actually, it might have actually just been visual on our end, because Chapman jumped up to P2 on the board. Chris Wright, P1. So Kyle Taub, this will be his last race, at least for a while, as Taub is actually going into the Air Force. He's been a longtime member of the NAOR Series, and everybody in the NAOR Series definitely wishes him the best of luck on his future adventures and everything that's gonna come forward for him. Kyle Taub, though, sits P7 so far. Cole Snyder goes to P7. So currently, the only driver running laps right now is Donald Kite. Of course, Kite already finishing his laps a little bit ago. Just getting some extra practice laps in, sitting P12. No other driver running laps right now. So, I think it's a perfect time, Adam. Go ahead and tell everybody who our picks to win tonight are. So, Adam, who do you think is going to win tonight in the first race?
Well, right now it seems pretty obvious. Looking at the qualifying results as it stands, but we discussed right before practice concluded, and I looked at the board. I believe it was third with a few seconds remaining. Finished second last weekend at last race out at Phoenix. Leads the point standings. I'm going to go with 69. Excuse me, Chris Wright, up front every race, and of course top of the board right now. So not a bad pick, I don't think. I think he's going to be up front and be in control of the race early on and try to be there at the end and score that victory for the first one this season.
I'm going to change who I told you I was going to pick. I'm actually going to go with Andrew Chapman, currently sitting P3 right now in qualifying times. I think Chapman is going to get it done tonight, the first race, and definitely excited to see him run up front. So you see up top, still 11 minutes left in qualifying. I think that might be an error, and they're going to advance the session once it hits 9:55 Eastern time. So what would be 10 minutes remaining of qualifying. First few laps tonight are going to be during pacing, or happen during pacing, to have Kyle Taub lead them around. And no... Caution laps do not count. Same rule as has been. We've seen both races so far. other rules, no green, white checkers, no lucky dogs. Wave rounds are on, though. And single pit road. So these drivers are going to have to enter and are off of turn 2 and go all the way around out of turn 1 if they want to pit tonight. When they have to pit, that is. And there we go. Session has been advanced. So let's go ahead and look at our starting lineup. All right, starting on the pole is going to be Chris Wright. To his outside will be Hunter Peach. Starting third, Andrew Chapman. Fourth will be Jamil Hawkins. And fifth, Braden Holt.
Joshua Arnold's going to start alongside him in the 6th position with Cole Snyder and Kyle Taub starting out in row 4. Jake Millsap and Chase McGuire, is going to make up the top 10 starting positions tonight in row 5.
Brett Bennett going to start in P11, followed by Donald Kite in P12, Jeff Lednam P13, Nick Hapiak 14th, and Tyler Ratliff will start 15th.
Enrique Canones is going to start 16th. Jonathan Osborne is going to start out back in 17th with Mike Campbell alongside him in 18th, and he's going to start out back shotgun on the field outside of the grid tonight, Josh.
That is starting lineup tonight for race number 1 at Bristol for the Veterans Day 220. 2 races, 110 laps apiece. Chris Wright, as you mentioned earlier, he is looking to get that first win of the season after a couple of dominant performances at Atlanta. Start off the season, just not able to get it done. And a couple weeks ago, absolutely dominating the early portions of the race until ultimately just not having the right strategy at the end. Kyle Taub being the winner of race number 2 at Phoenix.
I just mentioned Kenneth Cheney going to start last on the field in 19th position tonight. He was pretty fast in practice, Josh, so very curious to see how he's going to maneuver that 76 through the field if he's able to, and could contest for this win tonight.
So as mentioned before, first few laps are going to be behind Kyle Taub. He paces the field around. Kyle joining the United States Air Force.
Of course, you mentioned earlier, Josh, we wish him best of luck in that. Best luck tonight. Most recent winner in the league, winning in Phoenix a couple weeks ago. So a lot of momentum his way heading into this race. These two races, I should say, tonight. So we're looking for big things out of this machine tonight.
Kyle Taub going back to his starting position back in P8. So the caution lights wave. And they're going to go catch the pace car. Just now coming out of turn 2. As they are still pacing around, we see the green flag for race 1 in just a couple of moments. So Adam, what makes Bristol different than other short tracks?
Well, there's a lot of things, Josh. First key thing, obviously, is going to be the racing surface. Not asphalt like a lot of them. The apron's asphalt, which is going to be a lot of trouble if you dip your tires onto it accidentally. But it's concrete, so that's the big first issue, and I think the lights are on this truck here.
Still seeing the lights on. I believe they're going to get one green this time by. And if you're noticing, guys, that laps are not counting up top, that is because caution laps do not count tonight. So we are going to go green with 110 laps in this race, the way that they did things. The iRacing pace truck is going to make that hard left-hand turn down pit road once they get to it. And then inside the restart zone, Chris Wright will be able to get on the loud pedal. And green flag in the air. Oh, contact in the back. Actually, that's Kyle Taub. Had issues. Kyle Taub around. Oh, man.
Huge stack up on the outside with Joshua Arnold, and it just kind of led to chaos there, and we see the result. Unfortunate after all that, Josh. We're going to see Kyle Taub start at the rear of the field here on this restart with a bunch of damage to the rear and maybe the front of that 16. He got hit on every side of that car, I think, Josh, man.
Just watch from 7. You just can't see anything. And
yeah, you see the green flag, you're hearing go, 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 and then the line in front of you stops. Can't really have much time to react, like you said, Josh. Can't see anything. Happens so fast here, of course.
it's very unfortunate there for Kyle Taub, like you said, all that of riding behind him just for that to happen on lap 1 of the initial start of the race. Kyle's not out of it, though. There's still a whole nother race to go, and this field will be inverted as well. So the driver that finishes last in race 1 will start on the pole of race 2.
Yeah, exactly. Long way to go here tonight. Not only in this first race, but the second race, of course. Like you mentioned, 220 laps scheduled.
And we are about to go back green. Pace truck is in, and Chris Wright, who elected the outside there, he goes, gets a better launch this time around, but look at Braden Holt. Huge run on the outside.
Obviously a great start all around for the entire field. Everyone was able to get away clean. Like you mentioned, Braden Holt, great launch, but he's getting challenged big time from Jamil Hawkins on the outside lane, and that 4 machine going to clear him off of turn 2 this time by. And don't count out Millsap though, he is clear for 4th now over Hunter Peach.
Papiak up 7 positions. Started 14th already. P7 looking for more. Trying to get to the outside of Chase McGuire.
Oh,
He's
Joshua
there.
Arnold, more trouble. He got on the wall for turn 4, I believe, Josh, and slow on the front straightaway big time. Held up Brett Bennett, who's now got it around him. Contact with Ratliff there looked like going to 3.
Ooh. Lednum, I believe. Yeah, Jeff
Oh,
Lednum
yeah.
just got the wall. Battle for the lead, though. Jamil Hawkins trying to take the position away from Chris Wright.
He's hanging right there on the just 2/10 off of that 69 car, and to do lap after lap after lap here at Bristol is just so much talent it takes just to hit you amongst every lap, following the guy's tire tracks, making sure he's not making mistakes either, and it's just so critical here at a place like this with 16-second lap times, if not faster. Everything you do is down to the millisecond, of course, and Jamil Hawkins doing a great job right here. As Wright's going to go wide there on turn 3, Hawkins stays right to that line where the concrete meets the asphalt.
Yeah, you see Hawkins trying a little bit of a different line than Wright. Well, I say that. Pretty much both go right to the bottom, but Wright, he's been a couple feet right off of that apron, whereas Hawkins has been right there, right up against the apron.
While we watch these two up front, Josh, Hunter Peach has gone from 6th position up to 3rd really quickly, and Jake Millsap's gone the other way. He's gone down to 6th place. And Braden Holt right there in the middle of it. Nick Hapiak, they're fighting for top 5 positions right here.
Yeah, Hapiak gonna get around Holt on the outside, cuts down to the inside. Now Hapiak's gonna slide up in front of Holt.
That was a great overtake there. It's just that's short track racing right there, but it's now over yet. Holt to the on corner entry. Hapiak was able to clear down the backstretch and tuck in line. Here comes Millsap to the outside, but Holt is all over Hapiak's back bumper there, going down the front stretch.
This is the worst thing when you're trying to play offense and trying to play defense at the same time. For Holt, he wants that position back from Hapiak, but he's got to be careful with Millsap.
And this is the struggle with racing at Bristol. One car can hold up 6 or 7, and like we see right here, Hunter Peach is not that slow, obviously, running in P3 right now on the racetrack, but a little bit slower compared to the leaders, and we see this gaggle of traffic stuck behind this 20 machine, Josh, and like I was saying earlier, everything happens so fast here. These guys just right now all in line. I see a little bit of battle back there between McGuire and Snyder, but everything settled up front despite this.
Yeah, Hapiak. I noticed I was watching the lap times. He was faster than everybody in the top 5. That time by it was Braden Holt, fastest car on track.
And these guys run 2 seconds behind our race leader.
Here's the battle, 2x2. Kite and, oh man, 66. Kyle Taub out ahead of Donald Kite now. Cole Snyder and Jake Millsap battling side by side. And here is battle for the lead. Jamil Hawkins was underneath Chris Wright for a moment. That's going to stall out the run. Hawkins now has a huge run on the exit of, I believe that was 4. Down the front stretch into 1. Don't look now. Here comes Hunter Peach. Fastest car on track last few times around. This could be a 3-horse battle for the race lead, but Hawkins trying so hard to get to that right rear of the number 69, Chris Wright, trying to pass him on the outside. Just so hard right now.
Lap after lap, these guys have been slowing the lap times down, and the field has been closing in, and we see Hawkins on the outside quarter panel now of the 69, just trying to do everything in the center of the corner to keep that momentum up, but it's just such a longer way around this half mile. Can't keep it to that right side door of the 69. We see, of course, Peach closing in slowly, like you mentioned, Josh, wants these two to continue to stay side by side for this race lead.
Oh, trouble, front stretch. Caution is going to be out. Andrew Chapman around.
He had been, of course, you see in the bottom left of the screen, down several laps, 16 laps down before that spin, now that slide, into pit road. Curious what happened early in the race, Josh. Did you see contact? Spun him there. On this JCTV replay we'll see in a moment. But what happened at the beginning of the race, I'm very curious what led him down laps to begin with, of course. Now we've seen Campbell down a couple laps since then.
I believe that was contact with Ratliff.
It looked like the 13, I think you're right, Tyler Ratliff.
Just trying to get around him on the outside. Just got clipped.
Chapman won season opening race at Atlanta, and it hasn't gone his way since. I believe he wrecked out at Phoenix, and of course 16 laps down before that, and now projectedly done for this first race here tonight at Bristol after that. See, only one of our top 5 drivers come down pit road. It's Nick Hapiak.
Yeah, and everybody behind him coming down. Actually, Wright, Hawkins, Peach, Holt, and McGuire all stay out. So depending on who gets off pit road first, it'll be Brett Bennett.
We're going to be paying very close attention to this, Josh, what Brett can do on this restart. About, what was that, 25, maybe even that laps on a green flag run, would you say?
Sounds about right.
Only 2 sets in the pits, I believe. 2 extra sets in the pits, I think, Josh, for these races. Think that's going to mean anything, this tire strategy between the top 5 split here?
It's going to be tough. I'm not really sure what to think about this. From pit times, I do notice Brett Bennett, Kenneth Cheney, and it looks like John Osborne all took 2 tires. Everybody else, 4 tires. So Nick Hapiak, 3rd off pit road. He's going to be the first one on for Brett Bennett. Chris Wright elects the outside lane. No choose rule in the NAOR Series, but the leader does have lane choice, and that was actually a vote that these guys did earlier this week. See if the leader got lane choice. So Chris Wright choosing the outside lane. And the pace car is going to pull in once again. Inside the restart zone on right. He gets going.
Oh, a ton of wheel spin out of Brett Bennett there, Josh, on that restart.
Braden Holt once again with a great restart. jumping up there, but look at Hunter Peach. He is flying.
He is doing a fantastic job running that top, just a couple feet off that safety barrier and whipping it, getting a huge run.
Caution is out.
Down the front
Big
straightaway.
chunk. Cole Snyder and Tyler Ratliff.
Oh, and we're not done yet, reckon.
I think John Osborne might have also gotten involved in that.
Wow, looks like Snyder slid up off the corner, Josh.
Yeah, it's just a little slide off the corner, and John Osborne actually able to get around. Oh wow, see there, Snyder got loose.
Wow.
Yeah, he was just trying to collect his car, and might have still been a little squirrely from that.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame him. I would, yeah, like I said earlier, you don't want to really hit the apron when you're full slung on the bacon. Like, that is the result. You get all crossed up there. One interesting thing I noticed on that restart, Josh, is Jamil Hawkins went from second to fourth. Bottom lane, just every restart just really doesn't go unless it's the control car choosing down there. Jamil couldn't get going. The wheels just kept spinning and spinning and spinning, and he lost the 2 positions to Holt and Peach. And we saw the outcome of Peach flying there. It looks like he was gonna pass the 54 potentially there for another lap, and he was going great there, and maybe even threatening right for the lead there in a couple laps if it had gone green. Should be another great restart though with him on the outside again. Excuse me, he's actually gonna be on the inside now.
Brett Bennett still the first car with fresher tires. Looks like Brett's going to restart P5. Happyack, first car, of course, with 4 fresh tires. Happyack was able to get around Kenneth Cheney. So Happyack looks like he's going to restart 7th. And there's going to be 78 laps to go when we go back green. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if these tires are going to make a difference for the 1 and the 6. The lights are off on the pace car. And once again, Chris Wright taking that outside lane.
Gotta be paying close attention to see what this Ford can do on the launch. Like I mentioned, slow last time. Let's see what he can do if he can threaten. He was going for that lead, of course, before the caution, 2 cautions ago.
Inside the restart zone, Chris Wright on the gas, and Hawkins trying to fight on the outside of Holt. Holt, just a little bit of a better exit. Happyack around Brett Bennett. They're almost 3 wide. Cheney backed out of it. It's going to be Donald Kite, Brett Bennett, Cheney.
Jeff Lenham got all kinds of squirrely though, trying to react to Cheney. Back up to this fight for 5th with Millsap and trying to fight right here on the outside. Right now he's on the inside, excuse me, of McGuire.
Apiak underneath Hawkins. Trying to get underneath Peach. Peach looking to the outside of Holt now. Oh man, they are just so close. Apiak has nowhere to go. He's going to choose the middle line. They're almost going to be 3 wide. Car blinking out there. That was a recipe for disaster. That didn't happen, but Apiak around Holt to get into 3rd place.
Each has had a huge run off of turn 4 and almost stuffed it in the back of Chris Wright. He's doing it again off of 2 to the inside now in 3. Diving with that 20 car to the inside of the race leader. Chris Wright's been unchallenged so far of this race. He continues to lead. Here comes Apiak on the freshies though. On the outside now of Peach.
Apiak says, excuse me, I'll take the lead. He's going to slide in front of Wright. And for the first time tonight, we have a new leader. As Apiak takes the lead, and he is now just going to run away from Chris Wright. On the other hand, Donald Kite gets loose, but Kite, he is on fresh tires. He's working his way up. Now P4 for Kite.
After that pass Apiak made it look flawless on the overtake on Wright compared to what Peach was trying to do. He's still struggling behind Chris Wright in that 69 car. The 20 still can't get around him. Here comes the 66 of Donald Kite, like you mentioned, Josh, on the freshies. Can't make it work on the bottom though, on this over the 69 car.
Kite almost able to clear Peach. He does. He's going to be underneath Chris Wright now for P2. Donald Kite almost clear. He is finally clear. P2 to Donald Kite. All kinds of battles happening.
Yeah, this is just a mess right here in the pack. Jake Millsap right there in 8th position on the outside in the 19 car. He was one of the fastest cars on the restart. Had nowhere to go, got boxed in, and here he is. He was up in, I believe, 4th, challenging, trying to get towards the lead, and he's dropped so many positions more, and maybe even more as we see Kyle Taub now up into the top 10 for the first time tonight since his incident on lap number 1. They're in the 10th position now, racing Jeff Lednam. This whole pack is stacked up behind 3rd place of Chris Wright.
This looks like a pack you would expect to see at Daytona or Talladega. Just 2 by 2, several rows deep. It is so hard for these guys to pass one another.
The only thing unlike Talladega or Daytona pack is the racing like this is slowing them down like hog crazy. They are losing tenths to the leaders lap after lap. They are 3 seconds behind Nick Apiak now, and Donald Kite's trying to run away with him. He's only a second up the road though, and Enrique Quinones is doing a great job. He just got up to 3rd. He was car lengths back on Chris Wright going into turn 3 a couple laps ago, and he and Snyder have gone through the field and passed Chris Wright, who's fallen to 5th now.
Oh man, Peach almost up in the wall. That 20 car was super close to that safer barrier. He is just stuck behind Chris Wright. Oh man, Lednam got loose. Saved it. He's still going straight. Didn't lose much time, but that could have been disastrous.
And now we see Snyder and Quinones run away from all of this pack again. So if you're a Hunter Peter, Braden Holt, how much are you upset right now, stuck behind that 69, just boxed in completely?
Man, look at this. He took 2 tires, thought it was a good strategy. Now he is sitting 17th. Brett Bennett, he's about to be lapped by Nicholas Hapiak. Hapiak looks to the low side. Brett Bennett just does not have the pace at all. Hapiak gonna put Brett Bennett 1 lap down.
And the next car to go 1 lap down is going to be Jamil Hawkins, who was at the front of the field just a handful of laps ago, and we see him right here with Josh Arnold, who's been beat up and damaged almost all race. 4-car, tail end of the lead lap. Josh, very topsy-turvy race right now. We're only halfway through it.
Cole Snyder has worked his way up. He is catching Donald Kite for P2.
And Josh, look who is slotted into 4th. We just saw him in 10th. What was it, 10 laps ago? Maybe not even. And he just completely blitzed through that pack, gotten by Enrique Quinones, and now here he is hunting down Snyder and Kite in 4th position. 7 seconds behind the leader, but big picture right now, only 2 seconds behind 2nd place, and you can see them in sight very, very, very easily after what happened on lap 1. Very, very cool to see 16 car up here right now.
Definitely. I thought after that first wreck, Taub was going to struggle. He might be struggling a little bit with handling, but because of the damage. But right now, he's battling for what could be 2nd place right now, as Cole Snyder and Kyle Taub has caught Donald Kite. Snyder trying to slot himself into P2. Taub sees an opening. He does not take it, but man, they almost went 3 wide there for a moment.
Looked like Taub thought about it. Here comes Snyder, clear now on Kite. You can see the speed differential there a couple laps ago, just going into turn 2. Looked like Snyder had to get out of the gas with how hard he ran up on Kite. See Taub on the inside now, the 66 into 1, can't make it stick. 16's going to dive on the back straightaway here and race Kite for this position. And that's just allowing Enrique Quinones and Jeff Lenham to reel these guys back in, and don't count out Millsap yet either, and is just going to continue to allow Nick Hapiak to pull away. Josh, he's continuing to gap the field lap after lap, 7 seconds up, almost 8 now.
Yeah, this is impressive. As we see Kyle Taub clearing Donald Kite. Taub, P3, now has his sights set on Snyder.
Hunter Peach has gone a lap down, and a ton of guys have gone many laps down. Wonder if they're playing games here to try and be the last man win pole position for race 2. Oh no, it might be fuel stops actually. We're in the window.
Which makes me curious. Is everybody gonna have to pit?
I'm not sure if those who pitted under cautions would be able to stretch it. It's a maybe if they pitted under the most recent caution. I think there are a couple takers, Josh. Very, very minimal takers under the most recent yellow to top off.
Well, Josh Arnold, he gives information and an estimate of laps. He says they can go about 75-ish laps. Looking at Happyak. 44 laps ago, Happyak came down. There's 38 laps to go. 40 plus 30 is 70. 8 plus 4 is 12. That's 82 laps. 75 laps is what Josh Arnold said you possibly could make it. So it's going to be close.
For sure, and wonder how many other drivers are going to be in the same situation as him. As we look up to the 16 car, up to second place, Josh. Half a track behind.
Now here comes those drivers with the fresher tires.
Wow, and you see the differential right there.
Passing Taub like he is just standing still. And it's not that Taub is slow, it's just those drivers have the fresher tires.
The only thing is about this is the danger of pitting under green, of course, is especially with the one pit road at Bristol the rules are using tonight. You lose 3 laps pitting, and with a huge differential here and the crossover in the times, you could, of course, find yourself wrecked or wrecking yourself up on a slower car, so caution would eliminate yourself in this race for sure, the stage of it, if you're 11th on back.
See battle here. Chris Wright battling with Chase McGuire. Jamel Hawkins ahead.
And right ahead of them is the 20 of Honda Peach, who is leading the strategy of pitting under green and trying to go all out there from the end, I guess. They haven't yet to unlap themselves yet. Once on Nick Happyak, whose lead has dramatically slowed on the 16. Wonder if he's pitting this lap. Indeed he is.
Happyak down.
So he's not trying to stretch it, Josh.
Oh, Happyak knows he cannot make it, so he comes down. Jake Millsap also down pit road. And look at just how big of a lead Happyak had. Taub just now put Happyak a lap down. Nick pretty much had half of a track lead on everybody else. Oh, it's Taub almost into the safer barrier.
Happyak just went down his second lap, so he's just going to be right behind Taub about now. So it's going to be pretty close. He and Peach are going to be very, very close here once it cycles out. Curious where the 20 car is. So we see 81, the next one to pit off of that lead lap, John Osborne here. There we see Honda Peach in 10th position compared to Nicholas Happyak, just up the road a little bit. Wait, I believe another car ahead.
Curious how this is all going to cycle through. Happyak currently P8. He's going to get one of his laps back by passing Kyle Taub there. Now Happyak only 1 lap down. Meanwhile, drivers like Peach, Wright, Holt, and everybody else, they're 2 laps down. This strategy by Happyak, if we stay green, this has got to be the winning strategy.
Of course, he's flying right now. We saw it there when he passed the 16. The freshies are really making him earn it right now in that 6, behind the wheel of that 6 machine. Around this half-mile gymnasium, Josh, and he's doing a phenomenal job right now of just cutting around this racetrack the best he can.
Brett Bennett slow on the front stretch.
And that gives him the lucky dog. He's the only one in position to do it, but it does ruin his green flag strategy, of course. And completely shakes up the entire dynamic for the last 20 laps of this race or so.
Not really sure what the caution was for. I believe I have found it. Ooh, hard contact, Brett Bennett and Tyler Ratliff. And yeah, that appears to be what our caution is for.
Yeah, they were both racing on the same lap together for the 14th position at the time, I think. So, heavy contact, like you mentioned, off of 4 into the wall head on for Bennett. Well, no surprise here. Pit road's busy with these lap cars.
Yeah, a lot of drivers down pit road right now. Who's it going to be? Oh, Arnold!
Ooh.
Joshua Arnold wins the race off pit road, just barely over Kyle Taub.
What a front row this is going to be on the restart. Wasn't it Arnold who got into the back of Taub on the initial start to trigger the spin for Kyle Taub?
I'm not 100% sure. Arnold's nose looks really clean. I don't think it was Arnold. Yeah, Arnold started ahead of Kyle Taub, 1 row ahead.
That's where he got his real bumper damages then from Taub getting in the back of him, though. I knew he got hit some way in that chain reaction, but I didn't mean to blame him on that, of course. It should be an interesting restart, though, with the Arnold beating him out, like you mentioned, Josh. Very, very, very tight. Of course, we saw a lot of cars right here take the wave around, and they're going to hope for a quick yellow.
Going to be 22 laps to go for the 22 car, Joshua Arnold, who elects the outside. So it's going to be Arnold and Taub on the front row, Snyder and Lednum in row 2. Donald Kite will start in 5th, or restart in 5th, rather. Pace car's in. It's going to be on Joshua Arnold, who's inside the restart zone. He's on the loud pedal. And green flag is out. 22 laps to go for the 22. Jeff Lednum struggling. Tons of front end damage with 37. He's just going to fall back here as Donald Kite looks to make a pass. Not quite able to. But Enrique Quidonez trying to get up there as well.
Yeah, right now, Lednum's in the preferred line. I think the top lane has a lot more speed in it, and it's really, really struggling that 66 Kite to get around. He had a huge moment in 3 and 4, it looked like. Lost tons of speed, and Quinones was able to clear him. Now he's up there fighting with Cheney on the outside lane, going to lose that position as well.
Battle for P2. Cole Snyder on the back bumper of Kyle Taub. Taub running a higher line. Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, all the wave rounds, Josh, it kind of fanned out that restart. As soon as they took that green flag, allowed Taub to get clear of Snyder and kind of focus on Arnold at first and try and race that leader, but he really hasn't closed that gap at all, and Snyder's been right there trying to pounce on Taub, but nothing's happened of it yet.
Not sure if there was just an issue, but Donald Kite just had a moment. It appeared very slow on the racetrack. He falls down to P8.
I think he's just trying to get to the finish at this point with that 66. We saw him 2 or 3 laps ago losing tons of speed in the center of the corner, like I mentioned. I think he's having a hard time with that handling of that car. This battle continues to be pretty hot, but right now Snyder can't make anything work. Is staying in the same line as him.
This is just allowing Arnold to pull away. Arnold actually has been the fastest car several laps in a row now. And wow, Snyder right there trying to get the bumper to Taub. Looking underneath now. So they're going to be side by side, but Snyder just cannot get the power down on that inside like he wants to. Taub pulls ahead by a couple of car lengths.
One second gap now for Joshua Arnold. You mentioned pulling away, and probably because of this, Cole Snyder filling up the mirror corner after corner of Kyle Taub, not letting him really try and focus forward. Like I said, filling up that mirror, and he continuing to run that high side, running the same line as Taub. Let's see if he's going to be able to get in position to make a slide job happen here in these last 10 laps.
10 laps to go. This is the battle for P2. We are currently watching. See Snyder just struggling so much to get around. That's 16. Caution is out though. It's going to be on the back straightaway. 54, Braden Holt.
One of those racing for the lucky dog position. Don't think, pretty sure he's not going to get it that way. Unfortunate for the 54. Actually, no, he was on the lead lap. He just went down a lap there.
Oh, just got tagged. Just got tagged by Chase McGuire.
Ryder did a great job just going down the baking and saving it though after the contact was made, not making it worse for himself.
Joshua Arnold, Cole Snyder, Kyle Taub, Enrique Quinones, they all had to slow up for the pace truck. So that's what was going on there. So the good news for Hapiak is this is going to put him right behind the lead lap cars this time. As last time, of course, because he was a wave around car, he had to start behind everybody. So Arnold looking to pick up his 35th NAOR win. Arnold is P2 on the all-time win list. Number one being Nick Hapiak with 56 wins. This is the 12th different season for NAOR. second on iRacing. Nick Kapiak won the championship last season. And Kapiak actually has just like 3 championships all in all in the NAOR Series. The green flag is back out. And Arnold. Caution back out though. Not really sure what the caution is for. Let's see if we can find something here. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I didn't see anything on my telemetry either of anybody slow on the track or anything. I'm not really sure what brought out this caution here. Kyle Taub, though, he had a pretty good restart. Was running the outside line, hanging with Arnold. Was about to get up there. So I'm curious to know if Taub is able to get another great restart here. How much of an issue he's going to try to push. See if he can get the win. We are going to go green with 7 laps to go in what could be the final restart of this first 110 lap race of the doubleheader. Drivers slowly going 2 by 2. Space car gonna pull back into the safety of pit road, and Arnold on the gas. Green flag back out. Great jump by Enrique Quinones. And 9.
He blasted off into 2-1, trying to beat Taub to the back straightaway. Indeed, he did, and that allows Cole Snyder to slide to the 16s inside. There was Taub in the wall, slides in front of the 24 to clear him. Snyder back on the inside, and here comes Cheney, but it doesn't matter. The caution's back out. But let's try it again as Brett Bennett's spinning on the front stretch.
Looks like contact between Brett Bennett and Tyler Ratliff.
Ooh, it started with hitting the hole off of turn 2 though. Where it was way up the track and just got turned into the wall there, it looks like, from the 54.
Brett Bennett not having a night to remember. He has a lot of things go wrong. I feel like Bennett and Ratliff just can't get away from each other either. Adam, it seems like we have seen those two get into it more often than not tonight.
Yeah, not the first time those two magnets have collided tonight. Definitely not what brought them together, that situation, as 13 just completely misses the commitment cone there. Probably going to take service. Yeah, like you mentioned, not the first time we've seen those two collide tonight. They're going to be racing on the same lap, though. Ratliff's is several laps down, so Brett's going to try and get up there and continue and maybe get up to 9th position, you know. 1 lap down, of course, at the moment.
So when we go back green, it's going to be Joshua Arnold, Enrique Quinones, Kyle Taub, Cole Snyder, and Kenneth Chaney, top 5. Quinones, he had a great restart that last time by. Get him up to P2. Wonder if Cole Snyder took some notes there and try to restart as good as Quinones did on the outside line, P4. As these guys are already getting 2 by 2, they're at the start-finish line. Lights on pace car are off. Arnold chooses the high line. It's going to be 5 laps to go.
Cole Snyder is going to be sitting in a very peculiar spot here on this restart. We've seen second on the outside be able to have such a great restart compared to the actual second position. Let's see if he's going to be able to get clear of Quinones and fight on it for the win, or get bogged down racing the 9.
Pace car is in. Arnold around Quinones on the outside.
Yeah, Cole did not get the start he needed at all to contest for the win. Quinones held him up just a little bit. It might be enough for that win for Snyder. We see Quinones and Taub go side by side for 3rd in the background. Snyder half a second behind Arnold after that restart.
This guy's battling hard for 3rd place. Advantage, Kyle Taub.
Back up the entire field behind him.
2 laps to go, and Arnold with a very comfortable lead on Cole Snyder. White flag is out. Joshua Arnold still out front. Going through 3 and 4. And race number 1 is going to go to Joshua Arnold.
Man, what a race that was. I didn't really anticipate it ending like that, Josh. After a long green flag run and all those yellows.
Yeah, I was not expecting that either. This race started to look like it was going to go in Happy X's favor until caution came out that ultimately changed strategy. And Arnold not electing to do burnouts. Let's go ahead and see if we can talk to tonight's winner, though, for race number 1. Hey, Josh, race winner here tonight for the first race at Bristol. How's it?
I can't believe it. It's my first NAOR win on iRacing, and I'm pumped right now. So trying to get this next one set up real quick for you. And sorry to everybody for the cautions. Yeah, it's just not normally us. So
this is your 35th win in NAOR. You said first on iRacing. It was a little bit more of a caution-filled race, but everything kind of played down into a strategy that worked for you. So we had some guys come down pit road during one of the cautions, and others stayed out. What was going on in your mind then? Did you think that coming down or staying out was going to be the best move?
Well, it was right there on the window. I promise that's why I was so far behind, is because I was back there in neutral, trying to save the gas. And once I got green, I just started going, and then I was lucky enough to have that caution. It did come out when every one of those guys had pitted, so it really like I said, it was just a circumstance thing. I don't think that I would have been able to have that, speed or whatnot. I just, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. I'm just excited that I was able to, to hold him off, because Cole and Q Dog and Kyle Taub, we were racing for Kyle Taub tonight. So, I mean, they were right on my bumper. And sorry for the first crash at the beginning. I ended up starting the race in fourth gear, so that kind of messed a few people up. So sorry about that. But no, just excited to get my first win. I've got to get these cars set back up for the next race. So I will pop back in after the next one, if that's okay.
Alrighty. Well, we'll let you go set
Thanks,
that
JC.
up.
I hope this one is quick. I hope this was a lot quicker. We're gonna try to go green, get in line, and then go green from there. So.
Alrighty. Well, congrats on the win, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Josh.
And that was Josh Arnold, winner of race number 1 at Bristol. So while everything is going on, while they're getting that session set up, let's go ahead, Adam, run down through our finishing order of this first race, and then we'll kind of explain what's going to happen after this. So finishing first, of course, Josh Arnold, just heard from him. P2 was Cole Snyder. P3 goes to Kyle Taub. P4 to Kenneth Cheney. And Donald Kite finishing inside the top 5.
Enrique Quinones fell down to P6 there. Nicholas Hapiak ends up 7th with Jeff Lednum, finishing 8th. Chris Wright finishes 9th, and Hunter Peach rounds out the top 10 positions with only 8 lead lap finishers after all that.
Jamil Hawkins will finish 11th, Braden Holt P12, Chase McGuire 13th, Brett Bennett 14th, and Jake Millsap in 15th.
John Osborne 16th, Tyler Ratliff 17th, Cambo in 18th, and Andrew Chapman rounds out the field 19th.
All right. So, while we are awaiting the next session to start up and get loaded in there, we're going to take a quick intermission. Be maybe about 5 minutes, hopefully less, but we'll just let Josh Arnold get that going and hop in there as soon as we can. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back. welcome back everybody to JCTV. Race number 2 of the Bristol doubleheader. I am Josh Copperall and joined in the booth by Adam Kuhn. So Adam,
Josh?
go ahead.
Yeah, evening, Josh. Ready for this second race? Totally different track conditions, like we talked about, top of the show, and going to be a little bit different race, I think.
Yeah, definitely, different track conditions, like you said. I didn't mention it earlier, but I was looking at track temp. It was about 110 degrees in the daytime. Now we're here in the nighttime. Track temp is 83 degrees currently, right now, as things stand. Right now, you are looking at the car of race winner Joshua Arnold, who was able to find victory lane for the first time in the NAOR Series on iRacing. Not the first time he's visited victory lane in NAOR, as he had 34 wins previously. So, congrats to Arnold on his 35th win, first on iRacing in the NAOR Series. Let's go ahead and bring in a driver, Kyle Taub. Hey Kyle, it's boys up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey Kyle, so I want to talk to you about a couple of different things. First, let's talk about last race. Pretty much went from the back to finish third. I had struggles on that first lap, so walk us through kind of how that race went for you.
A lot of cursing from start to finish. That first start, I don't know what happened. Jake had told me that the 7 car had come in there and had no help from behind hitting me, and I think I ended up with 3 going on to 4 minutes of repairs. Somehow had enough cautions early enough to get them all repaired, and thankfully just by going down repairing, I took tires at the right time, and I was able to get all the way through the field. Actually, I think I drove through the field twice that race. The way it ended, though, we were having issues with the restart type. It was telling us to restart single file, and we just kept piling more yellows on after an admin yellow was thrown. And I think had that not happened, definitely would have had a much easier time battling for second. I probably could have gotten it.
All right, well, now I want to ask you about something a little bit different. So, you've been a long-time member of the NAOR Series, and tonight it's be your last for at least a while as you're joining the Air Force. So, what led you to making the decision to go into the Air Force?
Well, the Air Force as a career path, they basically set you up for life when you go in, as long as you meet the qualifications for the military, any branch for that matter. Once you're in there and you've done your finish your initial contract and done your, I believe it's 8 years that you have to serve in total, the pension and stuff you get is sets you up for life, and you add that on top of the ability to travel around not only just the U.S. but around the world. It's definitely should be a fun experience.
All right, well, we wish you the best of luck in the future, and maybe we'll see you back out there sometime out here with the NAOR Series.
Yeah, there might be a chance that if I have the time, I could race next week at Auto Club, but that's a bit of a stretch right now.
All right, well, good luck to you, and hopefully we'll talk to you a little bit later.
Thank you, man.
And that was Kyle Taub, driver number 16, here tonight. And definitely wish him the best of luck in the future, where his future leads him. But I think we're pretty close getting back going. I got a message from Joshua Arnold saying that we're just waiting on the 9, and the 6 was not going to be racing the second one, so Nicholas Hapiak will not be around. I see Enrique Quinones is almost here, so we'll see if they advance the session before the next 3 minutes 50 seconds are up, or if we just wait out that time. But you know what? As there it is, it's advanced. So, Adam, real quick, who is your pick to win race 2?
I'll go with 24th Cole Snyder. He was up front in the first race. He's going to start a little bit deep in the field here for this second 110 laps, but that 24 looked pretty sporty, of course. In that opening race, I think he's going to be able to get up towards the front again in this night race.
Oh, man. You actually stole my pick there. I was going to go with Cole Snyder, but you know what? I think I'm going to go with Zachary Meredith. Did not race in the race just a moment ago, so he will be starting all the way in the back, but I know Meredith. He's Zachary Meredith. He's a really good driver. I think Meredith will be able to take this one away.
Real wild card pick there, Josh. Someone we haven't seen all night. Not really surprised to see you go outside of the out of the box though on the picks though.
Yeah, I like to live my life outside the box. So the field is going to get set in their order once the pace truck pulls down pit road. Of course, Joshua Arnold will be starting at the tail of the field, as he was the winner of that race. Meredith, of course, will start behind Arnold. Alright, so now going green here. So they are sorting out their positions and getting into position. That will put Andrew Chapman in first place. looks like John Osborne P2. Jake Millsap P3 possibly. Brett Bennett, Chase McGuire, Braden Holt.
Yeah, then it looks like we got Jamil Hawkins and Honu Peach behind that, and then Chris Wright and Jeff Lenham running out the top 10.
Looks like we're going to have Enrique Quinones, Donald Kite, Kenneth Cheney, Kyle Taub, Cole Snyder, Joshua Arnold, and then Zachary Meredith. So the caution lights are on. So they are in their correct positions. Current update on the weather in the sim. It is 79 degrees air temp, 82 degrees track temp. So it is much cooler than what we just saw in the other race. Wind is pretty calm, about 3 miles per hour blowing to the south, which is from turn 4 to turn 2. A little bit cloudy out there as well, but beautiful night for racing in the Last Great Coliseum. And this track actually is a really nice track to go visit in person as well. I was fortunate to go down there for the All-Star race when they had the All-Star race in 2020. Because of COVID, it was the one and only time the NASCAR Cup Series had the All-Star race at Bristol. Very nice track, and you know, if anybody is wondering how closely the tracks look in real life compared to on iRacing, they are very similar. And you know, I spent a lot of time just watching or looking at different scenery around in the sim, and it is very spot on. iRacing did a great job with all of their tracks and getting them to look like they do in real life. So the field should be getting the one to green here, as lights on the pace car are off. Andrew Chapman taking the outside lane. Here's where things get interesting, Adam. All those guys that finished up front last race are going to be in the back.
Yeah, it's going to take about 10-15 laps if we stay green to sort the running order out and get everything cycled back up, maybe even longer. Some of these guys up front are really fast. They've just had unfortunate results, though, so it could be a real dynamic here to open up this race.
Andrew Chapman waiting for the green flag. It is displayed. Chapman on a loud pedal and a great jump by not only Chapman, but Brett Bennett as well, who started in 4th position there. Brett Bennett already looking to challenge for that race lead. He's underneath Chapman.
That was the start you wanted to be on the outside lane. Bennett led the opening lap door to door with Chapman. He's clear through 1 and 2. Down the back straight, Brett Bennett to the lead. Here comes Braden Holt to 3rd, trying to get 2nd position on Chapman. And Hunter Peach is slicing through the field. Huge crash in the back, though. This is the danger you talked about, Josh. Huge melee in turn 3.
Wow. I heard some crashing happening in the background. I did not expect it to be that big. Just look at it.
Of Jamil Hawkins completely torn off, like we were about to say, Josh. Wow.
Man.
Wow. It started at the front of the field, too. Towards it, Jeff Lednam got hooked. Oh, he was loose, and then he got tagged from the 4.
Wow. Arnold involved. Quinones might be all right there.
Looks like Meredith was the only one to not get involved. He came to a stop. Josh Arnold slid in, but he, of course, hit that inside wall. Meredith came to a complete stop.
Right inside the cockpit of Zachary Meredith.
Saw there from that view, Kyle Taub was involved in this again. Back-to-back races he's involved in, pretty much opening lap skirmishes. I think he's better off here than he was the first time. Go through all these views, all the carnage here already early on. There's where it starts, it gets loose off of 2. And
so Andrew Chapman will be the race leader as it goes back to, I believe it goes back to the previous lap scoring, which had Chapman out front. So even though Brett Bennett had passed Chapman, I believe because Chapman was the leader of the previous lap, before the caution came out, it scored Chapman as the race leader after the caution. Lights on the pace car are off. Chapman with the outside. It's going to put Brett Bennett on the inside. We saw him have a great jump from row 2 at P4. John Osborne is in that position now. Let's see what Brett Bennett is able to do, if he's able to go back and challenge Chapman once again for the race lead, or if it's going to be Osborne. Pace truck is in. Chapman holding them. Now the green flag waves. That gave an advantage to Brett Bennett, actually, as Bennett still underneath Chapman, fighting for the race lead.
John Osborne to do what Bennett did last time, but Bennett's going to dive in there and take that lead, Josh.
Yeah, Bennett clears Chapman. He is now ahead by a car length. Bennett trying to pull away now.
Just behind these guys, Hunter Peach and Braden Holt have been door-to-door for this third position. Peach finally gets that position over the 54 as they dive into turn 1, but that was a pretty highly contested battle to opening up the race, and John Osborne's going to tuck his nose on the 54. Couldn't quite make it work, but Andrew Chapman's not letting Brett Bennett run away this time, like he did on that first time he got past for the lead.
Brett Bennett is pretty much running the wall the entire lap around as Chapman now looks underneath. Brett Bennett just great exit off the corner, but I was noticing Chapman, he was running the high line. Oh my gosh, they're going to make contact. They both spin hard into the inside wall as Bennett. Chapman just barely misses the wall. That's going to hand the lead over to the 20 of Hunter Peach. Wow.
Oh my goodness, that is... Josh, I've seen that crash before. That exact crash. That was Tony Stewart and Matt Kenseth. They just collided together off of turn 2 and just both go spinning into the inside wall from the lead. I don't know how that's going to work out with them getting their spots back here, maybe, off the last lap scoring, but I guess not if they cause the caution. Worked out great for Hunter Peach, though. Just mentioned he and Holt battling for that position and opened right up. Oh man, he got the apron a little bit, didn't he?
I'm not really sure. Chapman just...
Brett was really lucky he didn't get clobbered though when he had that inside wall.
Chapman did. Just barely on the apron. And that'll do it. That'll just kind of bottom out the car just enough to send you straight up the track.
Mentioned that top of the show, I believe, Josh, in the qualifying segment of the race, of the broadcast, excuse me, just the transition from the asphalt to the concrete could be that harsh, like you mentioned, just completely break traction of the car and just send you straight up the hill. And we saw it in the first race once, and there we go, race number 2 already.
So Hunter will assume the race lead. Braden Holt P2, John Osborne P3, Jake Millsap 4th, and Kenneth Cheney rounds out the top 5. So the lights on the pace truck are off. As field goes back 2 by 2, Hunter Peach chose the inside line. Kind of an interesting choice there.
I think we saw this really early on in the opening race, and I don't think it worked out very well. I think it causes more issues on the bottom throughout the entire field whenever this happens. We'll see how it works out right here.
Pace truck is in. And Peach goes. Great jump.
Great restart for Millsap there on the outside, all the way up to third there, and here comes Cheney on the outside into fourth on Jonathan Osborne, going to get that position. Osborne has been caught lacking on these restarts, unfortunately. He's been taken advantage of every time, and here comes Chris Wright from towards the back of the field up into the 6th position now, racing that 81.
Look at Cheney go on the outside line. He's gonna get right up there side by side with Hunter Peach. Battle for the lead. Cheney riding the wall. Right up there next to it. He clears Peach.
Right there is a great example of just carrying all that momentum up top, running the wall and just letting it stick up there. You can see how much faster he is lap after lap. Over the 20, just having to slow it down and get on the bottom lane, obviously. And doing a great job right now is Cheney. Pulling away half a second lead already over Peach.
Battle back here. Chris Wright, John Osborne, Donald Kite coming into the picture. Oh man, both 66 and 69 sliding a little bit. Wright and Kite. The whole still side by side with John Osborne.
This is really dangerous when you got a car to your outside, you got one right ahead of you, and you got one right behind you, and now he just blinked out. That's even worse.
It can be really sketchy when that happens, but the 81 Osborne moves to the high side, gets around Peach. Now Chris Wright, he notices that. Wright making that same move, gonna get around Braden Holt as well as Donald Kite. Trying to, at least. Wright able to clear Holt, now has his sights set on Hunter Peach.
I mentioned Osborne slowing the restarts. He was able to get up through that mess up to second again, and up ahead of Peach, like you mentioned, Josh, who's now battling right to the outside of the 20 through 3 and 4.
Chris Wright using that high line. Peach might have caught the apron just a little bit. Right, P3. And this is the lead. Kenneth Cheney ahead of John Osborne.
Yeah, of course, we saw Cheney get that huge lead, or the half a second lead, which is pretty marginable here at Bristol. We saw him get that lead right away. Wonder if he might have used that tire just a little bit, because obviously he was John Osborne right on the tailgate. Excuse me, the bumper cover going to turn 1 that time, but Osborne using that lower lane is gonna able to go door to door into turn 3 here.
Osborne knows he needs to make the move now because Chris Wright is also closing in. Osborne not able to get around Cheney. Cheney just doing a great job rolling that high line.
Oh man, that was dicey there with Osborne trying to protect that second position over Wright. All three of them using different lanes. Cheney up by the wall, of course. Osborne in the middle, and Wright just trying to hook the bottom, trying to find his quickest way around.
Not too far ahead of this lead is the number 37, Jeff Lednam. Already 1 lap down. But here comes Osborne to the inside of Cheney. Oh, man, Osborne sideways. Cheney in the wall. Right there is Jeff Lednam. And there's the lead. Cheney has a breather.
Yeah, Chris Wright's been, of course, pressuring John Osborne there, and that's allowed Peach and Holt to close in tremendously on this battle for second. Like you mentioned, Cheney's got a little bit of breather now for the lead. He's caught Lednam. That might close that up immediately here. As soon as he caught that 37, 69 seems to have fallen off that wheel of the 81 car.
Cheney was able to get by Lednam pretty easily. Osborne, Wright, Peach, all past Lednam now.
Lednam didn't do anything wrong per se, but slowed all these guys up, especially Wright, in the way he didn't want to have slowed up. He took his line away, not only that, but took away laps and took away a ton of momentum going his way in the laps leading up to them catching that 37.
Look at Peach. He's up there fighting with Chris Wright now. Hunter, looking to the outside of Chris Wright. Now looking to the inside. They're going to be side by side. Hunter Peach trying to get into the top 3. Meanwhile, once again, Osborne has caught up to Cheney. It's pretty much a battle for the lead by the top 6. Oh, man, just in the back. Holt and Chapman. Pretty close, making contact.
Chapman had a huge run off of Turn 4, Josh, and he blasted off that high side, and I don't think Holt knew he was there, and like you mentioned, contact was made with 54 sliding up, but luckily they were able to keep going, and up front, everyone has migrated towards the top, up by that wall. Not only has Osborne, but of course there is Wright, and trying to defend Chapman now, who's gone up into 4th, gone by Hunter Peach. He's going onto the bottom now on Chris Wright into Turn 1. Oh, big time loses Cheney off of 2.
Chapman riding the bottom lane now. Doing an incredible job holding it down there, but I think the top is just way too dominant right now.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of speed up on that top all day long in the first race, and of course in this one now. But I think Osborne's doing a fantastic job trying to defend. He's just kind of going back and forth between the top and the middle lane. That was before Chapman got to his inside, and since then he's not been able to get that lane taken to his advantage at all. And he's been struggling, stuck behind this 76 car, not able to get back on the inside of him since Chapman's put his car under there. Chapman, though, doing a great job here. Josh almost got wheel to wheel with Cheney there off of 4.
Yeah, Chapman is there. Looking to the inside. He has the nose ahead of Cheney. He's going to clear Cheney. What's Cheney going to do? He goes to the inside. They're once again going to be side by side going into 1. Cheney not able to get the gas down like he wanted to. So Chapman, I'm impressed. He made it work on the bottom. And he's pulling away now.
And what a job Cheney did there to not give up the position. He fought for that tooth and nail to the bitter end there. He throttled it back up to the inside of Chapman and did not give up the fight, like I said. And unfortunately, he didn't make it stick as this battle rages on, stuck behind the 76 still. the 69, Chris Wright has to get out of line. Here comes Holt to his outside, following Peach up on the high line, of course. These guys got a pretty comfortable gap, though, to the next car of Kyle Taub.
What's Osborne gonna do? He looks to the inside. Try once again. Sliding up. Oh, there's contact. Hunter Peach got into the wall. Came off the wall. Got into the 81 of Osborne. Once again, Peach in the wall. Osborne gonna lose a position to Braden Holt.
Don't think it's done there. I think Wright's gonna have a lot of speed on him right here. Let's see if the 81 can hold him off. But it definitely looked like it could have been a lot worse between Osborne and Peach right there. Peach did a great job keeping it just right next to the wall and not overreacting, and as did Osborne, of course, not over driving that car on the inside there.
Hunter Peach trying to get around Cheney. Braden Holt driving the high line behind Cheney. Holt with a big run off of 4, just not able to do anything with it. With Cheney right there. Holt.
Man, almost got in the back of the 76 if he didn't, though.
Yeah, he came very, very close.
This is all 2 seconds behind Chapman, who is continuing to drive away throughout all this.
Holt looks to the inside. Just not enough. Oh, Cheney might have caught the wall off the exit of 4. Or 2, rather.
Well, from the first time we've seen that 76 get really, really close to that safety barrier right there. And not the first time we've seen this 54 blink out either. He is continuing to push the issue right on the left quarter, the left quarter panel in that 76 car, lap after lap, and again in the back bumper.
Oh, man. Holt struggling to get past Cheney. Oh, Cheney up in the wall. Once again. They're coming up to Jeff Lednam once again. Is Holt going to try to use Lednam as a pick to get around Cheney? Holt actually trying to get to the outside. He's going to do it. Holt finally using that outside line. He's going to get around Cheney and closes the door on Hunter Peach. Brett Bennett, who's already come down pit road on fresher tires, he is just driving past everybody.
Oh, Holt's in the wall as Bennett goes by. And it's Cheney on to attack again for his position. This time it's Hunter Peach on his inside. That's for 3rd. He's got John Osborne right behind them. So 76, he's not done fighting yet, and he's done a great job not making this situation worse. We've seen it time and time again so far this run, Joshua. Contact or slight rub against the fence with that 76 car can go disastrous quickly, but he's done a great job not making it worse than it is. So we see the 54 peel off and hit the pits. Another car back there as well. I believe it's Peach.
Yeah, it is. Braden Holt and Hunter Peach coming down pit road. This very long pit road. Once again, as mentioned earlier, they have to come in off turn 4, or off of, going into turn 2 and exit off of turn 1. So pretty much all the way around the entire track. A couple more drivers coming in. That is the 81, John Osborne, and the 17 of Zachary Meredith. Kenneth Cheney still out there, as well as race leader Andrew Chapman, who is battling hard with lap traffic. And, of course, those with fresher tires. Brett Bennett trying to get around Chapman.
But ahead of them is Enrique Quinones, who is the last car on the lead lap, so he's not going to make it any easy on Chapman for him to get around. And here we see Peach trying to get around Bennett. They're on the same strategy, of course.
A couple more drivers come down pit road.
Quinones in the wall. Right ahead of Chapman does a great job getting out of the way.
69 of Chris Wright and the number 19 of Jake Millsap. Cheney down pit road. Chapman coming down pit road. Is going to cycle the lead over to Kyle Taub. Joshua Arnold P2. Donald Kite P3. They all have yet to come down pit road.
By the way it stands, where he just got passed, I was going to say Chapman beat Holt and Peach out of the pits, but it looks like he just got passed, and he is going to be down quite a few positions, actually. Down, I believe, 6 spots once everything's going to cycle. Came out right ahead of Chris Wright.
So once everything cycles through, should be Braden Holt, race leader. Braden just got one of his laps back over Kyle Taub, who is still out there. 66 of Donald Kite down pit road. Enrique Quinones, Joshua Arnold, they both come down pit road. Kyle Taub, still race leader. He's coming in now. That's going to cycle the lead to Cole Snyder. Oh, man.
Yeah, Bennett got the wall there, I think, racing Cheney. And here comes Meredith right into the picture. They were battling for a top 5 position once it cycles out, I believe. And I think that one car's not handling the way it likes anymore. Saw Meredith get to the inside there of Brett. Looks like he tried defending it, but couldn't keep that car the way he wanted it pointed.
So Cole Snyder coming down pit road. This time, that's going to put Braden Holt in the race lead. .30 laps to go for Braden Holt. And he has just under a 2-second gap on Hunter Peach. There are 2 slower cars between Holt and Peach, and Enrique Quinones getting passed by Kyle Taub.
Yeah, Taub on the freshy tires, I think, is going to go up there and pass the 54 pretty quickly. The only thing is, the long one is Taub going to get run back down by Holt once the tires wear off on that 16 car if he is able to get around. This is, of course, if it all stays green, Josh. We've seen cautions shake up everything in that first race. So far, pretty green.
Oh!
Oh, man, almost jinxed it. 16 is going to slide.
Caution.
Well, I feel horrible.
Commentator's curse. Kyle Taub.
Yeah. Looks like he got really hot on the brakes there, Josh. Just tried not to crash the 54 car, of course, in the lead. You don't want to wreck the leader being a lapped car. It was just wrong place, wrong time for Taub. Like I said, he was going to be coming pretty fast there on the back of the 54 on the freshies. Is just pretty too quick there once Braden got held up there on the lapped car. I believe it was the 66.
Braden Holt gonna come back down pit road. And I'm thinking this is going to cycle the lead to Chapman. Meredith P2. Brett Bennett was going to be P3, but Brett came down pit road. And I believe the first car on fresh tires is going to be Braden Holt, who appears to going to be restarting P3 possibly. We're going to go green with 26 laps to go, I believe. Well, if you guys are fans of iRacing and you want to see more racing action, of course, tune in tomorrow night for the BSR and the Pits News Truck Series. Going to be taking place at Nashville Super Speedway. A lot of special music-themed paint schemes will be running, and Adam Kuhn will be in the booth for that one as well. I will be on track racing. Still plenty of action going on here, though, in Bristol, as we're going to go green. 26 laps to go. Chapman on the outside, Meredith on the inside. Watch Braden Holt, though. First car, 4 fresh tires. Pace car is in, and Chapman holding, and now he's on the loud pedal. Look at Chris Wright. Already up to P2.
Braden Holt found an opening. He couldn't take it with the 76 of Cheney filling it quickly. He's stuck behind Meredith now. And you mentioned Chris Wright. What a run on off of turn 2. Couldn't make anything happen behind Chapman though, Josh. He's going to have to stick in line though. Here comes Cheney on the outside lane though. Blue by Meredith now.
Cheney trying everything he can. Get back up
Braden
front.
Holt out the wall big time. He lost 2 positions down the back straightaway, Josh.
Sliding behind was Brett Bennett. Chapman still the race leader. Chris Wright looks underneath. They're going to be side by side. Chapman doing everything he can to roll that high line. Keep Chapman behind him. Or I'm sorry, right behind him. The longer these guys battle, it's going to bring Cheney into the picture. Chapman, though, sliding off the corner of 4. Wright is there, right to the inside. Oh, man. Oh, around. Cheney spins. He saves it.
Cheney, what a save. Wow, he's going to lose all those positions though, Josh. He's going to slide up into John Osborne just a little bit, but you called it. What a save. He was going around. He backed it all the way up into turn 3, but a miraculous save. These two are still going at it for the win.
Chris Wright almost to the outside of Chapman. I think that's going to be the place you're going to have to be to get past Chapman. Chapman leaving that door open just a little bit. I'm surprised. But Chapman's still doing everything he can to keep Wright behind. Wright is right there.
Going to need to take someone blasting out on this outside lane, like right here, what Chris Wright can do on the outside. That's what Cheney tried doing, but of course he ended up looping it right on the outside there. Got the momentum going his way into 1.
Chris Wright now your race leader. He's going to start to pull away. Hunter Peach, not that far behind, but he still has to get through Chapman if he wants to go challenge Wright for the race lead.
Braden Holt has gone back up to 4th through all that, but he is 2 seconds behind these guys. I think he's out of it without a yellow or more chaos up front. And Cheney up to 5th past Meredith again.
Caution is out. Chapman.
Oh, there was Chapman backwards at the exit of 2. Got together with Peach, it looks like. Slide job gone wrong, maybe. Or maybe he just got shipped.
Oh, man.
Wow! John Osborne. Oh wow, Peach got big damage there with that slide from Cheney though.
So here was the slide from Cheney.
I'm surprised he didn't get into the barrels there, Josh. A lot going on at once. And then he didn't slide into the 81 there, coming back onto the racetrack.
That's impressive. I am at a loss for words that Cheney was able to save the car like that, not damage his car anymore, and then just continue racing like nothing happened.
Absolutely. I'm curious what happened to Chapman to get him spun. I saw what led up to it with he and Peach, though, Josh. Saw Peach get into the back of him for sure. Didn't know what led up to it, though. Having to the rear of the field, though, this should be interesting if he can get back up to this top 9 in what's going to be about 15 laps to the end.
Yeah, we're going to go green with 14 to go. And Zachary Meredith will be the first car on fresh tires. I believe P8, if I just counted correctly. We'll see here how he has scored. Because caution laps do not count, the ticker is doing some weird things right now. Currently showing Arnold P1. Now it's right. So I do believe right now is the correct order. And like I said, Zachary Meredith, he's going to be the first car, fresh tires. He's going to be coming from P8. But lights on the pace car are off. Right now, we're focused on this guy right here, points leader, Chris Wright.
Yeah, such a consistent season so far. But like we mentioned at the top of the show, Josh, yet to get into victory lane. Can this be it right now? 14 to go. He's got Hunter Peach, maybe the second most consistent guy all season, right there hot in his heels.
Pace truck gonna pull down pit road. Chris Wright going early inside the restart zone. Already clear. Hunter Peach. Great restart. Oh man, blinking out there. Having a moment. Cheney to P2.
Yeah, I don't think Peach entered turn 3 the way he wanted to. He's pretty high up in the center of the corner. He's going to have another caution for Chapman and Meredith, both spun out on separate ends of the speedway.
And Millsap.
And another one. Millsap, yeah. 3 spun out in 3 different corners.
Alright, here's the 18.
Oh, you got help there, that's for sure. And then got stuck in the wall there.
There's Meredith. And here is Millsap.
I believe this one was already after the caution had flown, though.
I do believe that is correct. I believe caution was out. And actually, more issues for Millsap.
Ian Chapman, no. Thought they were going to not see eye to eye again, considering they got together there to begin with, but I don't know what that was. Maybe brick lockup? a lot going on here in Woods, Josh.
Meredith back down pit road. Chris Wright, still a race leader. And look who's going to restart P4. It's going to be that number 54. Oh, Braden Holt. I think first car on fresh tires this time is going to be Joshua Arnold. And I believe Arnold's going to restart P7. Jake Millsap as well on fresh tires. Curious to see what they're able to do. Expect the lights on the pace truck to go off this time by, as they do. No surprise, Chris Wright taking the outside lane here for the restart. Braden Holt right there on the back bumper of the 69 already. Holt is ready for this restart.
He's going to be the one I'm watching the most here. That fourth position on the restarts when the leader's on the top lane has been a very crucial part of every restart we've seen today and tonight.
Pace truck in pit road. Holt right there. Holt with a great jump behind Wright. Wright closing the door on Cheney. Oh, contact. Cheney around. Big wreck. And Adam, I'm thinking that netcode was the one to blame there.
That almost looked like a replay of what we saw on lap, what was it, 2? Towards the front, almost door bang gone wrong, and everyone just comes flying in. Can't stop in time. That first off, that started on the restart. I don't think Braden Holt got the restart he wanted. You said he got a fine restart. I think he jumped too early, got on the back of Wright, and that stacked him up a little bit to get him side by side with Cheney, and that led to this contact on the backstretch and the huge crash into 3 that we see here. Don Osborne's great night has just gone up into the fence after that, though. He's able to keep on the lead lap still, I think, but tail of this field now because of that, and luckily it didn't end right there. Of course, Joshua Arnold able to get through it in 5th position, race 1 winner tonight.
Yeah, Arnold still has a chance to get up there and sweep Bristol tonight. Looks like it is going to be Chris Wright, Braden Holt, Hunter Peach, Brett Bennett, and sorry, let me try that one again. Timing and scoring is wrong. So Chris Wright, Braden Holt, Hunter Peach, Brett Bennett, and Joshua Arnold, top 5. Look at Bennett, though. He has no nose.
Yeah, I think he got torn off there in that crash. He was, I think one of those just to drive right through and keep going. That car's been beat up all race, ever since lap 10 pretty much in this, the second 110 lap feature. Started up towards the front, of course, Josh, and thought he was going to be able to take the lead early on, but got caught up in a crash, and here he is on the outside lane here. Could be one of the final restarts.
And he's going to restart from the 4th position. I expect lights on the pace car to go off this time by, as they do. Field lining up 2 by 2. We're going to restart. 11 laps to go in this race. Chris Wright, once again the control car. Braden Holt to the inside. Hunter Peach restarting P3. Brett Bennett P4. Joshua Arnold Jake Millsap make up row 3. Zachary Meredith and Andrew Chapman make up row 4. Chris Wright. Great restart.
Beautiful restart for Chris Wright. He was able to take off, but great restart for Braden Holt, who was able to hit that corner perfectly. He is right there going into turn 3.
Yeah, wow. Holt, little slide. Holt's trying to use that outside lane as best as he can. Wright is just so much better than Holt is right now. Caution is out on the track, though. Enrique Quinones, Zachary Meredith.
Oh, wow. That looks like this one took a while to happen, Josh.
Meredith got around. Oh. Taub also involved.
Quinones was just an innocent victim. Wrong place, wrong time. Definitely there.
Donald Kite getting collected as well. Number 66 machine. So this time it's going to be Wright, Holt, Peach, and a P4. Joshua Arnold with those fresher tires. Brett Bennett P5. Jake Millsap is 6th. 10 laps to go right now. We will restart with 9 to go in the second race of this doubleheader at Bristol. Lights on the pace car are off. Once again, Chris Wright choosing the outside, Braden Holt to the inside. Peach inside of row 2. Joshua Arnold, the fresher tires. On the outside of row 2 in P4. Pace truck is in. Green flag is waving. Josh Arnold did not get going.
Terrible restart for the outside lane. Completely costed Arnold a chance at the win, and Jake Millsap as well if we don't get another yellow, Josh.
Arnold mentioned earlier he was in the wrong gear for the initial start of race number 1. I wonder if that was the case here. as they're wrecking behind.
Brett Bennett and Donald Kite got turned around. I believe it's what started all. Kite and Bennett's going to end up backwards into turn 1. Kite, they're driving away with the pace truck. Another car went spinning, I believe, Josh.
Oh, Donald Kite got into the wall.
Yeah, and he
Turned
just
down.
kept chasing it down the track right into Brett's quarter panel.
Brett just not having a very good night in either the first or this second race. Well, if you're still up with us, let us know in chat who you think is going to get this done here. 7 laps to go when we go back green. I think it's going to be Chris Wright collecting his first win of the season. Braden Holt's been pretty strong. Josh Arnold, he's going to have a chance to kind of redeem himself from that bad restart.
Yeah, he is going to get another shot to redeem himself here. 4th place again on the restart. See what he's going to be able to do lining up there on the outside, row number 2.
Joshua Arnold has a chance to sweep the races if he is able to get a good restart here and challenge Chris Wright. Arnold, of course, won the first 110 lap event. Lining up 2 by 2. Wright, Holt, row 1, Peach, Arnold, row 2. Jake Millsap and Andrew Chapman take up row 3. Pace truck going to make its way down pit road. Green flag is out. 7 laps to go.
Not the start owner needed, but it wasn't as disastrous as last time. He's going to get clear of Hunter Peach right there off of turn 2. Pretty nice. But it's a pretty good, decent gap up front between Chris Wright and Braden Holt for just 6 to go.
Arnold, fastest car on track right now. Is it going to be enough time? He needs to get around Holt as soon as possible. 5 laps to go here. Arnold looking inside.
Huge run there off of 2. He lined the 54 up perfectly down the back. Can he get him off of 4? Not quite to the inside yet, Josh. Nope.
Holt had the fastest lap last time around. This time around, it was Chris Wright. Top 3 just trading fastest laps now. 3 laps to go. Chris Wright still out front. No one challenging him right now. So once again, putting a gap, bigger gap on Braden Holt. He's going to be off turn 4, take the white flag one more time around here at Bristol. Checkered flag in the air. It is going to be Chris Wright finally getting that victory. Chris Wright has had a great start to the season. He's done everything except win. And now, he finally has gotten himself in that win column.
Yeah, he was runner-up in first 2 races of the season, so a great way to finally get his name into the winner board, like you mentioned, Josh. And we said it earlier, but he came into this night as the point leader, so great job just to try and keep that honor going into next weekend.
Chris Wright collects his 7th NAOR Series win. And we're actually going to turn it to you, Adam, who has Chris Wright.
Yeah, hey Chris, you got a copy?
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Well, you're in victory lane. Congratulations on that. Started off the season with back-to-back second places. You got a 9th in the first race tonight here, but you're able to bring it done tonight with that second race. First off, what were those last restarts like? Kind of crazy there at the end.
Yeah, you just wanted to be on the top. I mean, 9th in that first race, like you said, that's not indicative of the speed we had. We got trapped there during the pit stops. We stayed out there trying to save a set of tires, and it ultimately trapped us a lap down and whatnot. So we were pretty good. I think we were leading when that happened, and I threw away a shot to have a better finish than 9th. So a little disappointed with that, but it was great to win this one. Like you said, those restarts and the not counting the caution laps too was we were watching our fuel a little bit there at the end as well. But it was a good race. We had good speed. Got to thank all the guys, everybody, J. Paul and everybody in NAOR for putting this league on. And you guys, I know it's a late night here with this doubleheader. It's after 12:30, so we appreciate you guys for sticking around to watch us do a lot of pacing and a little bit of racing.
Of course, yeah. You came into the night with a point lead. You mentioned the 9th place wasn't indicative of the run, so you just continue to put on clinics pretty much with the raw performance that 69 has. How much of a confidence builder does this win mean to finally get the win column into the season?
It's nice to knock the first one off, but just running good every race is all you can ask. You can't ask for the strategy to go your way every time, It's going to flip around, and you're going to have races that don't go your way strategy-wise, and some races that do. Just like tonight, it was, even with a little better tires, I can't remember the number that stayed out, but that was a hard pass to make there with 20 or 25 to go. I had to just inch up on his right rear and force him to let me up there, or put himself at risk of getting churned. So that was a lot of fun. That part of the race was a lot of fun, trying to figure out a way to get by him, and ultimately getting beside him without contact was, I think, a pretty big deal for the race.
Absolutely. We enjoyed a ton up here in the booth watching you guys go at it for the lead and the win. Real quick, next weekend, Auto Club Speedway, totally different racetrack from what we saw tonight. What do you have expectation-wise for that 69 car next weekend?
I really like that racetrack. Fontana's a great track. It's going to have a lot of tire fall off. It's going to be racy. We've been here a few times now, and it's worked up by the wall all the way down to the bottom. So I'm curious to see what kind of package we're able to have. But either way, I think it's going to be a lot cleaner than tonight. We're going to get back to what you guys typically get to see with the strategy calls and the long green flag runs. I don't foresee a bunch of cautions next week.
Well, that's great to hear. Before we let you go, and any shout-outs you'd like to hand off to everyone before we, yeah, this is late night, sorry.
Yeah, everybody here that puts this broadcast on, you and Josh here at JCTV. I mean, these things getting broadcasted is no easy feat, and we appreciate you guys for sticking around. Like I said, especially on a late night here after 12:30. J. Paul for Josh Arnold for everything he does. All the guys that run in the league. It was a lot of fun to race around some of these guys tonight, and the doubleheader at Bristol was maybe a bit much. Maybe we should do a doubleheader at a place like Pocono or somewhere a little bit more strung out. But either way, it's always entertaining at Bristol, even with all the cautions.
Absolutely, and you made it that way tonight with that win. Congrats again, Chris, and hopefully we get to talk to you again soon.
All right, thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Absolutely, that is Chris Wright, driver of the 69 Chevy, and race winner of the second 110-lap feature tonight, Josh.
Yeah, what a couple of races we saw. That was, there was a lot of good racing there, and especially in the second race, we saw a really long green flag run until caution came out, and these guys, they did a great job overall.
Absolutely, that second race, like you mentioned, that green flag run was just very surprising to see, especially with the all the cautions we saw before and afterward. But it was great racing. It was just classic Bristol racing. The top was dominant, but the bottom could be used in, and the pit stops definitely played it up with the different strategies. And like Chris just mentioned, the first race too, the cycles and getting tracked down. We had it all tonight in both races, really.
Well, I think that's going to do it from us here at Bristol. As you mentioned, Adam, we head to Auto Club next week. Auto Club, much, much different than Bristol is. It is a 2-mile D-shaped oval, 14-degree banking in the corners. A really good track overall.
Oh, absolutely. Love it every time we take, no matter what cars, to that speedway. Like Chris said, it's high abrasive with tires, wide. You just said 19 degrees of banking, very flat out at times. And these Xfinity cars put on great shows week in, week out like we see with the NAOR. So can't wait to get to Auto Club and learn those things up.
All right, well, we got plenty more action coming up. Tomorrow night, the Laser Sim Racing and the Pit Snooze Truck Series takes place at Nashville Super Speedway. And then we have another show coming up on Tuesday night, the Slide Job Racing League, where they continue their playoffs. And then right back here, Friday night, 1 week from today, at Auto Club Speedway. That's going to do it from us here in the booth. Thank you to everybody watching, all the drivers. Not for you guys, this would not be possible. Big thanks to Joshua Arnold for everything he does behind the scenes. Great guy, great friend. Known him for a few years now. And big thank you to you, Adam, as always, for being in the booth. I'm Josh Copernell, signing off. Hope you've had a fantastic holiday today, being Veterans Day, and we thank you all to all the veterans out there. We will see you next time around. Stay safe, take care, have a great night.